Hello and welcome to the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I'm your other host, Johann.
And we're at minute 58. This minute begins with Xander asking, "What's Johnny gonna do?" and ends with the squad showing off their unchecked guns. You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should they be brandishing them like that?
They are
Especially
Oh gosh, yeah, they are brandishing guns.
Yeah. It's a felony.
It is. Well, who knows if it's a felony in the federal government? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I'll save the comment to the last minute, but let's keep going.
Okay. So yeah, Xander, asks Carmen, "Oh, what's he gonna do?" And pretty much a second into this minute, you see Johnny right behind Xander as he's turned around, just lunging at him, ready to give him that square across the jaw.
Yeah, this is the moment where Xander realizes he screwed up. He's like, what's he gonna do? And it's like 1 second in, he's like, oh, I made a mistake.
See, I don't know why he did this. I don't know why it was weird in the writing as well, too, because Xander knows how prowess Rico is in, like, the field of just, like, basic physical stuff.
Yeah.
He knows that he's a formidable jump ball player. I would think that he would know that he's a formidable kind of, like, fighter as well, too. I mean, he's a Mai. He's gotten to this point where he's ready to go to war. He's trained to kill, pretty much. And he was like, oh, what's he going to do? He's probably going to tickle me. Yeah, like all MI people do,
Yeah, because for at least 3 weeks, because I'm only basing on 3 weeks because that's a timeline we were given where they were just on the ship.
Yeah.
All their training has been in a desk. Whereas Johnny's training has been an actual combat training.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with, like, I'm pretty sure the fleet, even Carl as well, to have gone through a little bit of basic. That's how it is in the military nowadays. Even though you're going into, like, a logistics field, whatever, they still want to make sure you know how to shoot a gun just in case.
Yeah, okay, but think about your opponent. So you've been training how to fly. You've been sitting in zero gravity, essentially, to do any sort of physical training. You're going against someone that's been on a gravity Earth to do his physical training. First off, someone has more, as far as the physical training goes, someone definitely gets a little bit more training having to deal with gravity. Secondly, you just stole his girl. So you are on the back end of the anger train at this moment. Like, Johnny definitely has more anger stored up in him. And he just lost his entire country. Like, you're just about to fight this guy. He messed up.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, too. Like, he could have just Rico was just willing to let it alone. He was like, okay, you know what? I get it. This is what's best for both of us. I'm going away now. But then Xander was like, no, I'm prodding you. You jackass. I'm gonna make it feel even worse now. So, yeah, he's just kicking him while he's down, poking him and everything.
Yeah, because if you pause it at, like, 57:02... you can see Casper's face as Rico, and he's summoning a punch of 1,000 suns. Like, this thing, he is going to let loose into this one punch.
Yeah.
And he just, like, decks him. And then Carmen, like, barely gets out of the way from the punch. Yeah, the hold my beer part is just so funny. It's like, hold my beer.
In the last minute, yeah. He's like, yeah. Hold on, hold this for me.
It's still so funny. But yeah, so Carmen, like, ducks away with his beer. Johnny jumps on top of him. And Xander gives a few good elbows into him. But when it comes to who won the fight, it's always going to go to who's the bloodiest. And Xander definitely, Johnny definitely drew blood.
Yeah, he definitely did. I will say that I was going to actually call it a draw because while Rico was on the table, while Xander did flip him and give him I counted 4 elbows to the stomach. And then Rico got him with a knee kick to his temple. I counted it as a draw just because of the amount of hits that Xander got in, but the amount of damage that Rico did.
Yeah, and I'll give it that Xander's his flipping Rico onto the table is pretty impressive. Because that takes a lot of core strength to lift him up that way.
Oh, yeah. But then we get so Xander kind of stumbles back, gets held up by a couple of fleet personnel. Rico does a nice little flip off the table and then just like grabs after Xander, and that's when all the other military personnel kind of jump in and kind of try to break him up.
Yeah, and you can see Xander still trying to provoke him. He's saying, "Come on, come on," and then Karma's
Yep.
just standing in the middle there.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll kill you! I'll kill you!" Ah! And all while your favorite song, your favorite music choice of this whole entire movie is playing.
No, okay.
Here we go.
We kind of brought it up at the last minute that Fade Into You by Mazzy Star's playing in the mess hall, which is fine. But the minute the fight breaks out, the song is continuing to play. And it's not so bad that the song continues to play, but they start to turn up the song that starts to play over the actual fighting. It's like this is fight music, but it's not. It's Mazzy Star. It's just a horrible choice in music for this scene. It could have been anything else. Like, well, let's not say anything else, but it could have been something that's a little bit more fight music-y. And this song was popular at the time, prior to the movie being released. I think this song came out like in 94, 95. So, but why this song? It just... I mean, I've touched bases on it whenever they've chosen songs that were popular at the time, like era songs. It's been poor decision after poor decision, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the last one.
Yeah, I was just it was kind of reminding me of like weird songs that like are kind of date the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
And sorry, that was actually going into one of my things that date the movie, because the movie Dread actually has this one song called Poison Lips by Flash Mob in it.
Okay. But
And
is it the original song?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, so you remember where Dread goes into... Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, but is it played like a soundtrack, or is it played like in action music like this is?
Both, actually. It's kind of weird. So you remember the part where Anderson and Dredd are going into the slow-mo lab and they're about to breach and everything?
Yeah.
It plays that song, and I have the song here. Now let me turn it up a little bit. You gotta remember it?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna keep that through the podcast, but it's slowed down when you're in the perspective of the guys who are using slow mo. So it's all slow and everything like that. It's great.
Oh.
But they're listening to this song that was released in 2012.
Okay, but I'll give it that this song, or at least a song, you can kind of get into it a little bit. Like if we want to go about time frame, okay, so. Starship Troopers is listening to a song from 1994.
Yeah.
Okay. But that one, it could be listening to a song from 2012. So, as far as timeline goes, they're both at fault.
Yes.
But for, let's say, like, how the song is, I'm not trying to think of the right word. Like, kind of like the emotional setting or the tempo for the song. I'll give it that song could have fit better on this fight scene than Mazzy Star.
I'll agree on that one. Yeah, the fault definitely is in this movie for having a really odd choice for music for a fight scene.
Yeah.
And as I said, we've discussed this so many times. I've agreed with you again so many times. It's just, to me, it dates it. You know, it brings me back to a certain time back in the day when I used to listen to certain music. And the same with Dread. I mean, I like music. I like movies that have their own music. Or they'll be like in Star Trek, the new one, the remake, where they were like, oh, I'm listening to Beastie Boys. It's a classic. Stop listening to classic music.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know.
See, but when you date yourself with certain music, sometimes I can make that a little bit forgivable. The time frames they can be screwed up, but that's fine. But it's just the wrong song for the wrong scene. And that's where I have a problem with that.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
So... one thing I wanted to go over with this is the comparison to the script.
Okay.
So in the script, there's only one punch that's thrown, and it's Johnny.
Ooh.
And that's it. So Johnny punches him in the face, draws blood, and there's blood on Johnny's knuckles.
Mhm.
Then they break up the fight exactly the way it is here. Like the whole scene of him flipping over the desk and everything, that was not in the script. So imagine Johnny just throwing a punch and then everybody separating everybody. But the whole thing of like rank isn't an issue, that's still there.
Okay.
So Xander never gets his licks in. And then
Well.
Carmen gets in Johnny's face saying, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah, like, you're hitting my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. Like, I screwed over.
You're hitting my boyfriend that I have obviously left, I've left you for him, and he's kind of, saying bad things to you. What's wrong with you? Why are
Yeah.
you reacting the way you probably should react?
Yeah. So, I'm not sure if we're going to medic this out, but this is exactly what Johnny says in the script. Hey, it's just vestigial responsive procreation.
Medic! Whoa!
Yeah, he says it to her.
Okay. I like how he used the scientific term for it and then was like, Medic!
I told it to her face. Did you? Yeah, I was like, and then he hides the corner, and I was like, Medic! Alright, so I like the way Johnny says it in the script because it's like Jesse Pinkman, the way he says it on Breaking Bad. Like where he ends it with like, Medic!
Yep.
Like it kind of just accents the whole situation. But yeah, so Johnny does say that to Carmen. So when the MI separate Johnny from the group, Diz is smiling, super happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So Johnny, according to the script, Johnny regrets saying it, but of course none of us would regret him saying that. Diz is the only one happy in that whole situation. Then she still delivers a line that says, "Troopers and Fleet weren't meant to mix."
Yeah, it's a little different. It's in this one, it's Fleet and MI don't mix.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, mobile
okay.
infantry don't mix.
Yeah, so she says, "Cap Troopers and Fleet weren't meant to mix."
I think that's a better line, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're split up. I actually, one thing I do like, one thing that kind of stuck out to me in this scene, is the guy who is in front of who kind of walks, or the girl who kind of walks in front of Xander, gives him an eye. She's a Cap trooper as well too. She gives him an eye. She's like, "Yeah, Cap." And then there's a couple guys who are behind Xander as well too. This kind of stout looking older guy who's a Cap trooper as well too. And he's just in his black shirt with black suspenders and everything. He looks kind of like ripped.
Yeah.
And
so there's two things I wanted to say about one thing I wanted to say real quick about the separation between the two.
Okay.
If you go to 5729 to 5730, while Xander's like fleeing around trying to get at Johnny, Xander hits the extra in the face.
Oh no!
Yeah, you can see her like visibly like jump back, like she gets swatted right in the face.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then her hat gets sent flying. Her eyes are closed. She got nailed in the face.
Well, hopefully they gave her a little bit extra money for being there that day, if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, maybe she got a credit like hitting face extra.
I know that's what I'd forego $20 if I could just get that credit.
Yeah.
And then put it on my IMDb.
So it's in there. The extra getting hit in the face by Patrick Muldoon. And there's obviously a guy coming out of the tattoo parlor. He's like, "What the hell happened?" And he seems to have a tall can with him.
Yeah, so there is another trooper with an apron in there that looks like he has kind of one of those stainless steel like water bottles in there as well too. He's kind of like trying to break it up as well too.
Yeah, but it's probably one of those situations like he comes out like, "What happened?" And his friend goes like, "Dude, 10 minutes after you left." If anybody doesn't know, it's a great bit by Dave Attell that everything fun seems to happen 10 minutes after you leave a party.
Yep.
So he's like, what happened? And they're like 10 minutes after you left, man. But so here's one thing that's weird. Right after everything starts to calm down, Xander's a little bit still peeved over the whole situation. He says jarheads.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the jarheads?
That's the MI.
That's Marines.
Well, I know that, but I mean, there's no Marine subdivision in the MI, supposedly.
Exactly, but that's why. But Jarhead specifically means Marines.
Well, I understand that, but it may mean a new term in this world. Like Jarhead just may mean a cap trooper now.
I guess, but it just doesn't make sense because it's a kind of a derivative term of a Marine.
I
When you
understand.
only
Yeah.
have mobile infantry, you don't call. It's like calling like a Navy SEAL a jarhead because he's not fleet. You see what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I
So
completely understand. I'm pretty sure like it gets into it like later on in the other series as well too. I'm pretty sure, but there definitely probably are like different subdivisions of like fleet. Like there'll maybe be fleet marines and like different troopers, like maybe like a Delta squad or something like that for cap troopers or something like that. Who knows? But we don't know that so far.
yeah, but it just seems weird because it's not a term that would be. It's a term not related to the MI. It's a term related specifically to Marines.
Yeah. Well, who
But
knows? Maybe because it's all one just big branch of government now, all one like thing. It's just fleet and MI. So it just may be that the Marines went into the MI, or the MI was born from the Marines, kind of thing.
yeah. So at 57:40, where Patrick Muldoon is looking back with his like after he touches his bloody lip and all that, there's a girl to the left that's really giving him the stink eye. I
Yeah.
think that's the extra that got hit.
So I did point that girl out. I love her little like stink eye. But yeah,
Yeah.
she may have been the one that got hit. But yeah, he does have two other cap troopers behind him who are kind of like giving him another stink eye as well too.
Yeah. There's the what seems like an older gentleman with no like he just has like the black shirt and
And
everything.
suspenders, yeah,
Yeah. He looks like a grizzled veteran. I
he
kind of
does.
like him. I
Hmm.
kind of like him. Like
Yeah,
he knows he's definitely been on the ground and he knows that this guy's probably outranking him, but he just knows that he's in the wrong type of thing. Like he's just like I'm an experienced guy. I know you're being a jackass, but there's not I'm in my place. I know I can't say anything to you. So I like that guy.
yeah. He kind of gives me staff sergeant kind of vibe, kind of like what's his face in oh gosh, like any of the movies that you know him from Saving Private Ryan, the guy who was the sergeant in that one.
Hmm.
What's his name?
Are you thinking of Tom Sizemore?
Yes, I'm thinking of Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore is like the quintessential like staff sergeant kind of guy,
Yeah.
like that stout kind of like Brooklyn kind of accent a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's the same way in what is it
Like he's like Happy Hogan of
yeah,
like
he's kind of like Happy Hogan, yeah.
yeah. So I like this guy. He's
Mhm.
like he's a perfect MI.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
if only he had more lines, which he doesn't have
yeah.
any.
Well, I think if it had to go between him and Clancy Brown, like Clancy Brown's gonna win it probably because of his voice.
Well, Clancy Brown is going to be he's more of the drill sergeant than more the staff sergeant. Staff sergeant is kind of like the grizzled jerk who helps you, not die while you're in the field. While like the Arlie Ermy and like a Clancy Brown guy is going to grill you while you're on, training and everything. Like there's
So
two
he
like different, versions of those kind of archetypes of sergeants and whatnot.
so he could have been like a rad check.
Kind of, yeah.
I like that. I can go with that.
That's kind of weird to me too that there's no actual like sergeant or like corporal or anything besides the one that we see in Rastrix Roughnecks as well too. But she kind of doesn't give me that vibe though.
Yeah. So, and then there's the pretty redhead that's right behind him. Her hair is the way Carmen's hair should be, or something like that, to keep it away from things.
Hmm.
Like it's perfectly braided the way it should, and then at the bottom, instead of having like little tails, it's braided back in with like probably like bobby pins.
Hmm.
So that's like the hair that I guess Carmen should be wearing.
But
But
Carmen's special.
yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, the one that doesn't have any hats on or anything. She's a cap trooper as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we get a little bit of a scene change, and Rico is getting his tattoo. He's getting cut.
Yep. So according to the script, it says that the laser mounted on a robot arm finishes slicing an intricate pattern to his arm. Like I said, if that was more detailed into the movie other than just the script, it would have made sense to get cut.
Yeah. Like the only way we know that it's lasers right now is because it looks like it's lasers, and also it says on the screen lasers.
Selected lasers.
Yeah, selected. No, I think that's a selected template that they're using.
That's a horrible template. That's flash art.
It basically is, yeah. This is what I don't like about this. Like, I guess if you're going to get a tattoo, you have to select from the Flash. Yeah, you can't choose something that you want.
Like you're looking at the wall, like I want the unicorn with a razor blade in its mouth.
You know what though? Like,
actually, that actually sounds really cool.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
A unicorn with like a straight razor in its mouth,
and it says "ride or die" or something like that.
Oh my god, I want that so bad right now.
I want anything that says "ride or die" on it.
I think I want to put that on my forearm, like a unicorn with a straight razor in his mouth, saying "ride or die." Oh my god.
Oh man, that reminds me. I need to get a Fallout tattoo pretty soon.
Yeah,
I just want to get the Vault Boy or something like that.
I think I'm gonna have to text that to my ink guy. Say like, "What do you think about this?" On my forearm, unicorn with a straight razor in his mouth with the slogan "Ride or Die." I'm actually really thinking about it. That would be incredibly bad.
See, but that's the thing. Like, I don't mind if I could, and if I had the money to, I'd probably go and pick something off the wall and get some Flash because sometimes it looks good. But if that's the only choice that you get, I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, this one, of course, screams 90s. Not tattoo, but digital art because of all the straight lines.
Yeah. I do like how it has the different... So this is kind of weirding me out a little bit, too. So you said that the laser cuts into the skin and then deposits ink into the skin?
Theoretically, according to the script, there's not a whole lot. But it's just saying that the laser's cutting into the arm.
Okay, that makes a little sense then. What I'm thinking now, because we get this screen that has, the lasers, it has the different hertz on there, the different, the megahertz and gigahertz and everything of the lasers and the wavelengths of the different colors as well, too.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is each color is its own frequency on the laser itself that burns into the skin. So depending on how high or how low the different frequency is, it gives you a different color.
Here's the weird thing about it, though. And I just thought about this now. Don't know why I didn't think about it before. Lasers cauterize wounds.
Yes, they do.
So the minute it cut, it would leave it kind of open.
Yeah.
And the ink would literally just run out every time.
It could be also there could be also a finishing laser, kind of like a healing, not a healing laser, but I don't know, like as you said, a cauterizing laser. So it would just not burn anything into the skin, but it would burn the skin to cover it up.
Yeah, I guess.
Like that's what I'm thinking. So basically, there's no waiting for it to be done or a heal or something like that. You would just have your laser engraved tattoo, and it would heal. Yeah, it would hurt, but you would have no, ink runoff. You'd have no blood or anything. You wouldn't have to change it ever so often. You just have a done tattoo.
Yeah, because the only thing that's weird is there's no irritation.
That's what I'm wondering about too. Yeah.
So
well, I'm at 47 right now, and I'm getting a great CG, like a crappy CG version of smoke coming off of his arm.
Oh,
right
I know.
Now.
I was gonna bring that up. It is pretty horrible. But all right. Space Wizards invented this tattoo thing. It's unexplainable.
It really is.
If we put in the science to this, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, Space Wizards invented this tattoo machine.
And honestly, too, that's the thing. Like, if they invented something like this, I'd probably want to get a tattoo done by it. But then I'd also want to get a tattoo done regularly as well, too, with normal needle. I mean, hell, I want to get a tattoo done like how the Polynesians used to do at one point with the little like
Oh
shark tooth
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything. I
yeah,
do want to
yeah.
get something done like that because that sounds bad as hell.
It's from I've known people that got it. From what I understand, it's incredibly painful.
I mean, dude, have you seen my back? I have a full back of a big like winged angel thing. That thing hurt like a horrible female dog.
Yeah, but no, from what I hear, it's way worse
Okay.
because when you use a machine, it runs across multiple needles, especially depending on what you're getting, whether it's color, whether it's line work, etc.
And
Shading.
yeah.
This is one needle at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's gonna hurt more.
Yeah. I can deal with it, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'd want
All
something
right.
small, like a little fishy or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like in Moana. He just has a little fishy.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
one of the things at 5750, this immediately should put up a red flag. Drinking.
Yep.
It's not the best thing to do to thin your blood while you're getting a tattoo. It's not a good idea to thin your blood while you're getting a piercing. Not a good idea to thin your blood while you're getting surgery, etc. Anytime there's a possibility for bleeding, you definitely don't want to thin your blood. Also, judgment. Like I understand in Las Vegas there's people that drink and then they get a tattoo, but they never drink inside the parlor because they won't allow it.
Yeah.
So I wish I knew what type of booze they're drinking though, because I definitely want to try whatever they have.
They
Just
look like,
cause.
honestly, it looks like they're drinking iced tea.
But it's probably whiskey.
Probably. It's a
Yeah.
darker, it's probably like a honeyed whiskey or something like that. It's probably like the Johnny, or I'm sorry, not the Johnny Walker, what is it called? That Bumblebee whiskey, whatever the hell it is.
Oh, the honey whiskey or
Honey
whatever?
whiskey, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so yeah, drinking and everything, that would be the way that it happens now. But remember, this is the future. Space wizards. There's no bleeding. You don't need to worry about thinning your blood. You just need to worry about your dumb judgment of an MI trooper.
Yeah. But it's funny because while they're drinking, getting drunk, and throwing whiskey on open
Open and closed wounds.
Yeah. There's a tech. He's just wandering around. He's like, nah, nothing weird here about today.
It's
This is
Monday.
Yeah. This standard military tattoo parlor.
It probably
Everybody's.
Yeah, it probably stinks in there too, like burning flesh.
Oh yeah, it's probably smells of bacon.
I
So
can't wait to go home and eat some ramen.
So we end this minute at 57:59, and you did point out this scene, which I think you're probably right. This should probably be the photo that we have for this episode.
Oh yeah, I'm actually screenshot it right now.
Yeah, the guns blazing.
Oh yeah.
First off, Casper incredibly ripped.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you pointed this out on the where he gets tied to the post to get whipped.
Mm-hmm.
But like Kitten,
No,
you're
Kitten is
you're Kitten.
Kitten looks like me after a week of working out.
Yeah. Diz looks fit. She's
Well, I
probably
mean,
she's probably a hard body, which is fine, and that's
Yeah.
probably that's perfectly great with the way she looks, because she probably has like, super abs and everything.
Well, I mean, we
Cool.
saw her during the whole entire fight with Clancy Brown, and she was ripped.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So we're going. If you're following along with us, people, we're going right to the left on this.
Yes.
After that, Busey. Pretty impressive.
I'd say so too.
I mean, you wouldn't expect it on, because you'd think because he seems like that rich kid. Doesn't talk about doing sports. He just wants to be, because he wants to be a higher up, definitely a desk pusher.
Yeah.
But impressively ripped. But then Casper, I mean, that's a body by Tybo. That worked. So, good on him.
Oh, definitely. Like he's doing the whole entire I think someone taught him how to flex like this too, because you notice how his left hand is kind of above his other arm, like he's basically flexing his chest a little bit too to make his arms thicker.
Yeah. Well, because one of the differences on his pose that he has here is he's accenting the black shirt behind the bicep.
Mm-hmm.
So it pops out more. Compared to everybody else, there's nothing to show like the actual curvature of the bicep.
Yeah.
So you're right. He probably was trained a bit, or he just practiced in front of a mirror.
So I do want to say something else about this too. They're not all uniform, these tattoos. They're supposed to be uniform because it's done by a computer.
Oh,
Take a look at
that's
the
right.
H. Take a look on the H on all of them.
Oh, you're right.
And then also take a look at Dizzy's above. It doesn't look like an above. It looks like a Bose, ABOBZ.
Yeah. Well, this is what you get when you use what's it called? Stick-on tattoos.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go underneath the skin and it goes over it, that when you flex your arm, it's going to tear apart.
True.
So,
I mean, yeah, Jake's looks kind of like wider than Dizzy's as well too. Casper's kind of looks a little funky on the above of the death from above.
yeah, because looks like Jake Busey's the death looks like he hit Control B on that because it's definitely a bolder font. Because his is a bolder font, but I don't know. Maybe you get to choose because the image that's on the screen is just the logo of the skull.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. It actually has the whole thing. So maybe it was customizable for that. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they have like a certain, like as you said, maybe they have flash on the wall that says this is the MI flash, this is the Cap Trooper flash, this is the Fleet flash. Yeah. And they have like different things like, oh, you can choose this one if you're if you're a Cap Trooper who drops, here you can get the death from above, or you can get a capsule or something else.
I just thought about this. They all come in through ships.
Yep.
So they all could get death from above.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're in the Navy, like, something from the sea or something from the water or anything like that. They're all death from above.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it is. I mean, as I said, in the book, it's like all ODST style where they get shot out of a cannon in their little pods. But in this one, they're in little ships. So yeah, technically it's all like little landing crafts and everything like that. They're not going to land a whole entire ship it's all invasion kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that's why it's just all right.
It kind of reinforces my idea to me anyway that yeah, the MI was kind of born from the Marines as well too, because the Marines were exactly that. They were, drop ship and not drop ship, like an amphibious force, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm thinking the MI is kind of like an amphibious force as well too, even though there's no sea anymore. It's all ship, spaceship and everything.
That wouldn't be amphibious anymore, would it?
No, it'd be like Terrarius or something like that, or
Avian.
Like Avian, something like that, yeah. But that's perfect. Actually, that framing right there, all four of those arms, kind of frames it perfectly for that's where the minute ends.
Yep.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about this minute at all?
No. So, well, where can they follow you, Matt?
Well, you guys can follow me at AltTabMatt pretty much anywhere on the internet, including LinkedIn. I'm bringing that back.
All right, maybe if you add in your keywords, like it'll pop up.
Awesome podcaster.
Yeah. So you guys can follow me on Twitch and Instagram at j-d26. You can follow me on Twitter at OMG It's Johann. You can also follow us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube, where you can also rate, like, and subscribe to us. Please, we would really appreciate those. You can also visit our website at theroughneckminute.podbean.com for show notes and back episodes. Follow us on Twitter at roughneckmin, M-I-N. You can also continue the conversation on our Facebook group, the Roughneck Minute Billet. And I've been your host, Johann.
I've been your host, Matthew.
And we'll see you on the bounce, troopers. Did I lose you again? Yeah, I lost you. Yep. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever since you've been gone. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Hey, there you are.